with me this time to talk about education is no other than Hanif Bipuah. He is the Ashanti Regional Representative of Humanity First Ghana. Hanif, welcome.
Thank you.
Coming all the way from Kumasi, Ashanti Region to join us here in Accra to participate in this Humanity First Telethon 2021. Tell us, why is it so important, Hanif, for Humanity First to support education in Ghana?
Thank you, and it's a privilege to be with you. And thank you for that question. Issues about education in Ghana are very crucial, and the education sector is one of the most important sectors in our national development. Ghana has been a long way coming as far as education is concerned, and particularly since the last 3 decades that we had our 1992 Constitution, the policy for education has been free, compulsory, universal basic education. And in recent times, even secondary school education is free. So then, it has become a huge deal when it comes to resources for the infrastructural development, for developing the human resource, and even teaching and learning materials for our educational institutions. So this has been a huge burden for the government, particularly putting into context of a lower middle income country emerging from poverty. So it's been a burden on the national budget, considering the fact that revenues are not so good and the country has to go into huge international debts from IMF and other multinational sources. So yes, Humanity First has a role to play, and everybody has a role to play in the education sector in Ghana. Otherwise, it may not be work done.
Otherwise, it may not be work done. Hanif, what are the challenges at stake? Why does Humanity First even have education as a focal area to support in Ghana?
Great question. So when you look at Ghana currently, education is not so bad in the cities particularly. But as you travel into the hinterlands and the less deprived communities in the villages, away from the cities, then you find that education is not really getting to the villages where access is very poor. So you find out that the road infrastructure is very poor, and even the educational authorities of the state, Ghana Education Service, sometimes are unable to even get to certain villages. So because there are so many villages with large populations of youth without any educational facilities around, Humanity First has realized the need to go into these hinterlands and provide for them school or educational facilities so that the youth there can also attain some education, which is a basic right for every human being on earth. And that is why education has been one of the thematic areas for Humanity First in Ghana.
Any examples of such educational projects that Humanity First has carried out so far in Ghana, and in particular in the last 1 year?
Yes. So in the last 1 year, as you say, in the year under review, Humanity First has done, we've completed one school in Wangao with teachers' living quarters. We are also in the process, we are at the lintel level in Kokong, another school, and we have finished with the school in Wale Wale. And all these places are in the northeast region. This is a new region that was created a couple of years ago in Ghana. Hence the need to focus there because there are more deprived communities there. So yes, we've delivered 2 schools and 1 is still in progress in the year under review.
Talking about cost, in terms of monetary terms, i.e. dollars or so, how much on the average will you say each of these schools completed by Humanity First costs?
Yes, so
to give our viewers the perspective, the correct perspective.
Yes, so when you look at our school buildings, we try to do low-cost buildings, but of a good standard. Now, if you take a standard block, about 6-unit classroom block, you may be talking about some $40,000. And if you take our makeshift structures that are used for quick fixes, it may just be about some perhaps $2,000 for makeshift. So, but we don't want to do makeshifts. We want to build real structures.
Yeah, because most makeshifts may tend to be death traps, but better than nothing.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, certainly. These makeshift structures sometimes become very necessary in times of disaster. So there is one of our schools in Ashanti Region in Subonta, if I remember well, where the students couldn't sit in the classroom whenever it was raining. So we had to go in quickly and put in place a pavilion, a shed, well roofed, so that the final years in the junior high school could complete their school hours for the examination, the WAEC examination. It costed us about $2,000 to erect that. So under that circumstance, that quick fix was necessary, you know. Yes.
That quick fix was necessary, providing quality education for all by Humanity First here in Ghana. And coming to you live from Wahab Adam Studios in Accra, we are talking about Humanity First activities and with specific reference to education. With me has been Hanif Bipuah, who is the Ashanti Regional Representative of Humanity First Ghana. Please do send through your donations to the mobile money, Momo as we call it here in Ghana, on your screen, as well as the merchant number on the screen, and also through the international platforms available scrolling on the screen. Every bit you send, every pesewa, every penny, every pence do count. Hanif, wrapping up about education, why do you think we should focus more now? And why is Humanity First so eager? Where do you want to take the education?
Yes, so Humanity First, as a humanitarian organization, we want all people to be treated equally on earth. And also we do know that education for the child is one of the most important ways of improving the livelihoods of people. Particularly in Ghana, we have a lot of villages where the children do not have access to education. And education, we know as a nation, is the sure means of getting out of poverty, reducing insecurity, and the situation of conflicts in some of the areas, reducing that kind of poverty that pushes people to move from the villages to the cities, the rural-urban migration, and its attendant challenges that come with that. So Humanity First has gone into this area because we find that there is more equity in serving the people when we go to deliver education to them in the villages, and particularly to the youth and to the children.
One big challenge about charities, people are very concerned and they do complain that when they send money, majority or a good part or portion of that money goes into administrative costs. Is that the same with Humanity First?
So that is the unique thing about Humanity First, and that is not the case indeed, as you ask. Humanity First is volunteerism. I am a volunteer. I am not put on any form of stipend, except, of course, the operational cost. So then you have a very little amount of the money going into administrative cost when it becomes necessary. But our volunteers are mostly people who sink in money into the donations themselves. So Humanity First gets maximum return for the donations that are made, for the charity, the monies that come to us. We make maximum
every pound,
input.
Every CD donated to Humanity First literally goes down to the...
It goes into delivering education to the poor person. It goes into the buildings, it goes to teaching and learning materials, it goes to teaching or preparing the human resource that
it doesn't
teach the
go
children.
into paying you any salary?
Not at all, my brother.
So what motivates you to volunteer for Humanity First then? If you are not getting any salary, and if the vast majority of volunteers are not getting salary from the donations, what is the motivation?
So yes, Humanity First obviously is a brainchild of the Ahmadiyya religious sect, and when you study it carefully, even though it's not an organization run for Ahmadis, it's run for every manner of persons on earth, you notice that that altruism, that honest belief in service to humanity, because it's part of Islam, is the underlying factor behind Humanity First's creation. And that is the modus operandi of Humanity First: serving the people, serving mankind.
Humanity First, serving mankind. believe.